What's up, everybody? This is Robert, and you are listening to Dads in Real Life podcast. We are two dads, 10 years apart, talking all things fatherhood, from diapers to dream projects and everything in between. In today's episode, we play catch up. Rob and Travis check in with fantasy football, 75 hard, and how the transition back to school is going.
Wasting that day away. And I told my buddy right when I got up, I was like, I'm worried about today. Let me tell you.
Podcast is provided ad-free thanks to listener support. Go to patreon.com/dads in real life to help keep it independent and to get exclusive access to live streams, behind the scenes, and more content every month. And we're back.
We're rolling. Welcome to Dads in Real Life once again.
Episode
Hopefully you're like, wow,
we
I'm back again. If you're here for the first time, welcome. If you're here for the 20th time,
thank
props
you.
to you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Yeah. Visually, you might see a difference. We're bigger on screen now. So if you follow us on YouTube, oh, hold on. Look at this. You see, it's called media. If you follow us on YouTube, like and subscribe, right?
There you go.
Awesome.
You got the little stamp and everything. We're getting real fancy over here, guys.
Oh, goodness. Okay. So we both, as always, record with limited time because pickups are about to start. But that being said, Travis always brings the heat. Another week, another podcast. We're just coming off our first guest on our podcast, which I thought was awesome. A lot of stuff went up on Patreon this past week, which I know the community will enjoy. And as it grows, again, to join the Patreon, it's free. There's access to free content on there. And then the
free?
Yeah.
Say what?
Yes. And then the sponsor us content is when we go, think of it like class style, right? So we have a lot of behind the scenes, extended cuts. And then whenever we have a guest speaker on, they always give us kind of like the insider baseball stuff after hours. So we put that on Patreon. So that's the cost of a cup of coffee, literally per month, a cup of coffee. And then you get all the insider stuff. But if you join for free, there's still great content on there about fatherhood and personal development and some fitness stuff that we might get into today. So that being said, Travis, I'll let you take the reins.
Well, hey, we're going to kick today off with a little bit of shower thoughts with Travis. And let me tell you, this little segment, I think will bring you just maybe bring you great value. And that is the tip of the day.
Ooh,
I was walking out to the kitchen this morning and I took my daily vitamin. And as we do, as we get further along in life, we start taking the supplements. And I was like, hey, you know what? I'm surprised at how many people haven't heard about this tip before. And so here it is for free, ladies and gentlemen. Did you know that there is a like a best way to swallow a pill? You know, the old phrase, it's a hard pill to swallow. Well, it doesn't have to be, let me tell you. And all you got to do is if you got one of those pills that's like solid, you know, like chalky, like hard,
like the vitamins. Like
basically, if you toss it in your mouth and it like sinks to the bottom, like that, you're supposed to tilt your head back and swallow. Let physics do the work here. Okay. If you are swallowing a pill that floats, like one of those plastic ones you throw in there and it floats, you put your head down and you swallow.
That is right.
Shoots right down.
I can tell you from living with a speech pathologist that deals with a lot of swallowing, that is accurate. That is very accurate, sir.
Ooh, you heard it here first, and it's confirmed.
It's confirmed. And I can tell you, I like how Travis says he takes a vitamin. I take more. I take a lot of vitamins.
We're gonna talk about that at some point.
Oh my goodness. I think I'm around, my supplement stacks about 13 right now.
Whoa.
And so I can tell you, and I don't take them one at a time. If I can't get all 13 down at once, at least split it in half. And the head down thing does work.
Shoot.
Yeah. Plus another tip for multiple multivitamins is I will drink it with my protein shake because it's a little thicker. So I don't get that little tickle like gag reflex that sometimes water and vitamins do. So give that a try.
I hear you.
Mm-hmm.
Now, I kind of want to just like throw caution to the wind. I just want to like scratch everything and just go with this because I like it. I like it.
Okay,
If you're ready,
I'm ready.
we'll wait. We're gonna continue. We're gonna get to your tip
Yes,
in a little bit here.
yes, I have one, but keep
I'm
going.
honestly, I wanna hear this, okay?
Mhm, mhm.
So, you're a coach, and you've
Yeah,
put a lot of thought into, obviously, what is going into your body.
yes.
Talk to me here, because when we talk about supplements these days, there's a million out there.
Oh,
You can
there's
walk into the
a
NutriShop or
bajillion.
whatever, and
Yeah,
you have, like, 8,000 different options, right?
yeah,
Now, one thing that you have pointed out in a previous episode or 2 is talking about getting some blood work done, right? Because that tells you a
yes.
lot about your body, your system, and how everything's running, right?
Under the hood, yeah,
So,
think of it like a car, what's happening under the hood. Yep.
I'm assuming that's one of the points that you're gonna make here, but,
Yeah.
how did you go about finding the supplements that you wanted in the daily basis? And was it based off how you were feeling or how you wanted
Ah,
to feel, or was
great.
it more based on like, the blood work, based on, like, uh, research and, like, "Oh, they say this is the best thing now."
Gotcha. So great question. And it's kind of two parts. So in my younger years, before experience and education, supplements wasn't a big part outside of the traditional, I think, like gym bro, right? So like protein shake, you heard
I'm
about
a creatine.
creatine,
Yeah.
maybe a pre-workout, maybe some electrolytes. And this was like high school era where I didn't really do research, but since my other friends were taking it, might as well take it. I learned quickly that that was very expensive, right? So it was expensive with very little results. And as I matured and I became a coach and started working with people, it's kind of there's like tiers. So the first tier would be like most people don't need a supplement. They don't need, and I use supplement outside of medication, right? Medication's like a doctor saying, "Hey, you need to take this." Supplements like, "Oh, I heard this trend on TikTok and I think I should take it." Like, well, probably not. So with that, first things first is like if you're eating whole foods, you're going to get a huge brushstroke of everything you need as far as macronutrients, micronutrients in your body. So as long as you're eating good food, that's fine. Now I put
Good
an
point.
yeah, so I put an asterisk next to that though. So when would supplements come in handy? Well, if you were eating whole foods for an extended period of time, I would say a couple years, and you know how you feel, and you're still like, hey, I'm kind of lacking here, or I know I'm not getting enough protein, then we would add supplement. But think of supplement as like the last 5%, right? 95% would be food. The next category of that is I work with a lot of kind of high paced, I don't want to say execs because they're not all execs, but they have a lot of plates in the air. And so it's a time issue. So that's where supplements come in too. So, like, hey, Robert, I'm a sales rep. I travel for a living and I'm always in airports, right? So, like, hey, it's not always the best idea. That's when we
Yeah.
can talk about supplementing maybe with like a protein bar or a pre made meal, stuff like that. But for me, when I say 13 supplements, 99% of them came after blood work. So it
Hey.
was because
Yeah.
of a deficiency or things that I'm dealing with in this season of life that I need supplements for. And then we retest blood work. So it's not like, blindly in the wind, so to speak, like just taking a bunch of stuff and hope it works. I take blood work every 6 months whenever I'm trying out a new supplement that my body needs or my doctor uh, thinks that would be helpful. And that's usually due to a result of energy. How's my energy during the day? I have a pretty big workload as far as exercise and parenting. I want to be cognitive and full of energy at the end of the day with my kids. So what am I doing or what am I not doing that can support that? And then supplements kind of fill in the gap. So a lot of my supplements, I came out of a period in life with a lot of adrenal fatigue, a lot of overstress. So my body started underproducing certain things. So that's where the supplements came in to kind of even me out. So think of it like a push starting your car, right? So I'm not going to
Yeah.
take supplements forever, but because there was this huge valley and I was kind of stuck, the supplements kind of helped push start the car, got it in the gear, and then we start to titrate down. And then I try other supplements for other reasons. So I'm not taking like full spectrum stuff all the time. It's like, hey, in this season of life, you know what? I'm feeling really fatigued. Let's look at that. That might be a vitamin B deficiency, right? It might be too much cortisol, the stress hormone. So we need to supplement that. Maybe the adrenals, your thyroid needs some support. So for me, this is what's worked, but it came from blood work. Pre blood work, it was just like, hey Travis, what are you taking? I want some of that, right? So that's where, if you guys remember the old school like jacked 3D pre-workout, which is technically I think illegal now. Like we all took that back in high school and college if you played sports or if you went to the weight room. So long story short, like I'm definitely for supplements as long as the groundwork and fundamentals as far as eating whole foods are there. And then I really believe in supplement after or because of blood work, not just because like I think I should take a multivitamin. Like, okay, great. And maybe everyone should, but if you had blood work done, maybe you find that's something else you need, or maybe the multivitamin is giving you too much iron or too much of one thing because you're already getting that in food. So,
Yeah, 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 man, those are gold points there because, for me, I'm just going like, "Oh, there's probably a lot that I'm not eating." Like,
mhm,
I am not normally eating as many whole foods as a lot of other people, I feel like.
mhm,
And so in my head, I thought, well, I do probably want to supplement a little bit of that. And basically, like my journey with this has, over the last year has only just been like take the vitamin D, take the vitamin C
yeah, exactly.
nightly. But then now I just switched over to a multivitamin, like a
Nice.
men's multivitamin. And I was like,
Mhm,
oh, I'll just take that. And that covers a lot of the things. But, um, the blood work is something I still need to do,
mhm,
and this is gonna tie into another topic that we're gonna talk about as far as margin and other things, but,
mhm,
it's another thing on the list, right?
mhm,
So to make it easy for somebody who, is looking to check into, like, what supplements do I need? First things
mhm.
first, get some blood work done.
Yeah.
The thing that always I know, I guarantee you some guys are thinking about right now is just because that's what this is what I'm thinking about is like, "Oh, man, like, do I have to go into the office? Like, what am I gonna" like, I never know what I'm gonna have to pay. And
Mhm.
as somebody who worked in the, health insurance field, there is no good answer to this. Health insurance in the United States sucks. So, it is what it is. It's a bummer, and there's all sorts of red tape, and you don't know what you're gonna pay, and you're not gonna find out. So, I just wanna let you know that right off the bat. But
Yeah.
there are some things that you can do, and I figure maybe I'll chime in just because I've had the,
Please.
experience of working in that realm is, depending on who you have for your insurance, um, always check first if you can, to get some information on that side of things, just to make your life easier on the tail end, right?
Mhm,
So, if you have a PPO, generally speaking, that means that you're going to be able to kind of go where you want, and
mhm,
there's going to be some sort of tool or something that your insurance probably has, probably online or on an app. Um, but if it was me, I'd actually probably again, this is time. If you have the time or you make the time, if you can call on like a usually it's like Tuesday through Thursday in the morning. That's a good time to call because you're not going to be
mhm.
on hold for 8 hours because that's not worth your time. Don't do that.
No, no.
But if you can talk to somebody, they can kind of point you to that spot. Say, hey, okay, and say if I wanted to do this next time on my own, is there a way to do this? To find a doctor, to find a whatever. So for PPO that you just look up, you say, hey, is this in my network? Cool. Or like, is this, part of my plan? For an HMO, that means that you have to stay within a medical group. So whether you know it or not, you've most likely been assigned, auto assigned if you didn't pick some sort of medical group. And so
Mhm,
what you're going to have to do is make sure that you have like that you are going to go see a doctor that is in your medical group, but also for the blood work, generally speaking, that's gonna be your primary care physician. So
mhm,
your PCP, you're going to have to go to the office and have a visit, and then they will order some blood work to be done, and then you go and you get that done, and then you get the results. So,
mhm.
um, the thing that most of us don't do, and which I am very much guilty of, is never actually, selecting a primary care physician. So that's another thing, like, I before I before I had was forced to work in this space for a while, regrettably, but it's helpful now. I'm just gonna say, you know what? I came out on the other side, and here I am.
Look at
I
you.
know. I know stuff, so I'll tell you so you don't have to do it.
There you go.
Uh, you have the freedom to pick the person that you wanna go see, and so, you don't have to stick with the person that you were auto assigned or, whatnot, and if you don't know who yours is, find out if you have an HMO. Again, sometimes you don't need that primary care person if you have a PPO, but if you have an HMO, like a lot of people do, there you go. And then that plan's going to tell you how much you're going to pay, usually like a
Mhm.
flat rate for a lot of things. With the PPOs, more often I usually saw there's like a percentage, right? So it's like you're
Mhm.
going to pay 20%, we're going to pay 80%. So
Mhm.
blood work can be kind of expensive, depending on your plan. Again,
Yeah.
so if you're not paying very much month to month on your premium, like your monthly cost for health insurance, you might end up having to pay a lot for it, unless your employer is covering like a lot of your premiums month
Mhm.
to month. So, um, yeah, see what you can find out before you do it. You can always ask, and there's no such thing as a dumb question. And hopefully, the person on the other line is going to treat you with some respect. But I also encourage you to do the same.
Yeah.
Nobody in that field wants to have you waiting, and nobody wants to waste your time or to be, yeah. uh,
Yeah, I think at the end of the day, if you just remember that everyone's trying their best, right?
Yep.
And then
Yep.
that's what it
Yep.
is.
And now a fun fact I will say, some people end up having to talk with, like it's tricky, right? There's so many different things out there. So this is very still we're not broadening very much, because you might have like, um, a subsidized type of plan. So then you have some better coverage, which is awesome, but you have to go through the extra, like, kinda government loopholes, like, to
Mhm.
get information. So my word of advice on that is if you're trying to make a call and find out some of this stuff, um, don't be afraid to hang up on that person, and when you call back, you're gonna get somebody else. So if you feel like you're not getting anywhere, it's a bummer because it means that you're gonna have to be on hold again.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna have to wait again. But the reality is there's probably somebody there that's better than the person you were talking to if you feel like you're just getting, thrown under
Yeah.
the bus.
Yeah.
So, that's a lot more than you asked for, but I just want you guys to
But
know
that's another nugget from Travis, right? Like
it's a
that's
do yeah, yeah, and so, I'm saying it for myself too, go if you can, select a doctor so you can talk to them and get to know, they can figure out they're gonna have to do all that stuff, I know you guys don't like it, but just go in and they're gonna say, "Do you have this history? Tell us about yourself, blah, 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 blah."
mhm.
But then you can go and get the blood work done, and
Yeah,
you can find out this kind of stuff that is helpful, right? Because one thing we
exactly.
don't want to acknowledge as dads, especially as we grow older, is like it's just one more thing, like, oh, what's wrong with me now?
Yeah, yeah.
I understand that that brings stress, but it's better to be proactive than reactive. And so,
Especially with your health, right?
yep,
Like it's one of the things that I've always said coaching individuals is if you can measure it, you can manage it. And so as long as you're getting the blood work done, then there are options ahead of time that can supplement anything coming downstream, right? That anything that might be in your future. Same thing with daily movement or exercise. Like you don't want to wait for the emergency to happen to figure it out, right? You want to be preemptively working towards a healthier body. And
yep,
so, like with the blood work thing, reach out to your primary care. If you're in a position that you want to go out of pocket, there's so many online services and even in your city that you can go to a phlebotomist, like literally just walk in and be like, hey, I need a basic lipid panel, $60. We'll get you out in 15 minutes, right? So it depends which kind of avenue. Now, if you want to get like deep into the weeds, I'd probably go through your primary care because those can be upward towards $700-800 to get those things done. And that's
yep.
where, if you're already paying health insurance, might as well get a percentage off. Right.
Yeah, 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 totally. I'm glad you mentioned that though too, because that
Mhm.
is the thing is sometimes it's actually cheaper to not even use your health insurance and
Yeah.
just go get it wherever,
Especially with time too, right? The fact that I could book a time right now for
Yep,
probably later today
yep,
to go to a phlebotomist, get blood drawn, and tell them, hey, I'd like this, this, and this tested. And then they just get back to me. Right.
so have you done that before?
Yes, actually, a majority of my blood work has been up until I'd say about 2 years ago, has been just out of pocket. I just go in, I know what I want to look at, I know at the panels that I want to track, and I get
Yep,
those done. And then when I started, probably about 2, 3 years ago, was working with a specialist, like someone who's reviews blood for a living and can recommend supplementations for that. Then I would go to her specific blood drawn company, right? Third party company. And I get a little bit of a kickback because I'm working with her as
Yeah.
far as my primary. So,
Yeah, 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 yeah. Awesome, awesome. Good stuff to know.
mhm.
Okay. So we went down the supplement train, and
Yes,
I appreciate that. Thanks for taking us on that journey.
of course. Of course.
So, yeah, today we are going to be continuing then for the last little bit here,
Hmm.
just playing a little bit of catch up. We're gonna do some catch up here. What's happening? Most likely, a lot of you guys might be able to relate.
Yes.
So, um, first things first, I'm gonna say what's new over here is I started fantasy football again. It's been
Yes.
forever, but I have a
Oh, wow.
team,
Nice.
and I lost the first week.
Ouch. Okay. Hey, you know
Oof.
what? The only way is up, right?
That's right. That's
Mhm.
right. If we look at it that way, yeah,
So
I have the championships on my horizons.
did you do the
I
whole draft, auto draft? Did people
We
come
did the
over?
draft. I'm actually commissioning this thing. I was like, "Dang." I was like,
Whoa.
when I did one of those things, I was like, "Oh, I totally got this, guys. I know fantasy football. I did it a while back, It was, like, back at my last, job." And then I was like, "Oh, no, it wasn't my last job,
It
and it
was
wasn't
10 years
wait, it
ago.
wasn't the job before that, and it wasn't the job before that. Oh, wait. Yes, exactly. I've been living here now for 8 years, and so that was 10 and a half years ago." Yeah, wow. Sorry,
Nice.
sorry everybody who does
Yeah.
fantasy football every year. They're like, "How could you survive not
Yeah,
doing that?"
exactly. Exactly.
Yeah, I don't even know who the players are anymore. I was like, literally, I know like 3 football players right now, guys.
There you go.
I've been in the thick of it, raising children, and all that
Exactly.
stuff.
We've been busy. We've been
So,
busy.
yeah, anywho, that's going down. You been a part of fantasy
Nice.
football before, Rob?
I haven't in the last couple of years because, like you, been busy.
Yeah,
But what really got me into it was one, coworkers. That's kind of how I got into fantasy sports, right? College basketball, football. It was through like coworkers playing, like, "Hey, Rob, do you want to play fantasy football?" I was like, "What's that?" And they're like, "Oh, we get to pick." And for someone coming from kind of like a childhood or culture that I wasn't heavily involved in sports, although I always loved my, football growing up as a kid,
yeah,
is that it forces you to watch, right? So if you're playing fantasy football, you're going to be involved. You're going to watch, you're going to pay attention to injury lists and trades. And so that part of it was really fun for me. And it led to Sunday or Monday night football, right? So the big hurrah every week was watching that. But took a sabbatical, got back into it because of the league. Have you seen that TV show, The League?
You know what? I haven't. I haven't. I
Okay.
know what you're talking about, but
Okay.
I haven't.
So a couple years ago when that TV show came out, that's when I really got kind of back into it with friends, because it's a comedy about fantasy football. It's
Yeah.
basically fantasy football.
Oh,
So,
man.
but yeah, no, I'm not doing it. The reason being is that I know my personality. If you guys have been listening for a while, personality types. I would spend so much time researching players, and I would have spreadsheets. And Mo's like, "Yeah, we're not going to do that this time." So
For your sake and for all of our
for
sakes.
my mental health, for everyone's mental health, a dad doesn't need to be a commissioner, let alone run any type of fantasy football. So,
Yeah, yeah. Well, I totally respect that and I understand it because I'm like, we're only gonna be able to spend so much time doing this.
mhm,
And so
mhm.
we'll see what
Get it
happens.
in
But
there.
the fun part about this is actually somehow, some way, I mean, I think my wife actually made it happen. But she was like, I want to play fantasy football. Let's do this.
Nice.
And so now in this league, there's like um 3 of my buddies like all have their wives like playing. So we're in a league of like husband wife. I
Ooh,
was
I
gonna
can
say
see that.
duos, it's rivalries.
I was gonna say little side bet rivalry right there
Yeah,
going,
yeah, yeah. I
right?
told Deb, I was like, okay,
Men
number
versus
one,
women.
you're on your own. I'm gonna give you some tips. I'm gonna give you some tips, things that you need to know. And keep in
Exactly.
mind, you only know like a little bit less than I do. So we're gonna be in this together, kind of. But
Mm.
come game day, you watch out. And
Hey,
guess what? Week
game
2,
face, game day.
I'm up against Deb, so we're gonna see
Exactly.
what happens.
Nice.
So,
Nice, nice, nice.
anywho,
I can't wait
um,
to interview you next week about that.
yeah,
So,
yeah, 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 yeah.
yeah.
Tune in
"Hey,
next
Rob,
week,
I'm
guys,
sleeping
to
on the
find
couch
out.
this week."
Yeah, yeah. Which so do I win or do I lose? What is the right
What is that?
question?
Yeah. Do I all of a sudden bench all my good players because I would like dinner tonight? I don't
Nope.
know. I
Nope,
don't know.
nope, nope, nope. Where she's getting the real deal,
The
you know?
full gotcha.
Yep. And then I told her, I was like, "Hey, the winnings go to the winner, okay? So you got to spend it however you want,
I
okay?"
got I got I like it.
So, anywho, that and then we got the 75 hard still
Yes.
going.
Updates. What day is it? Where are we at? How we feeling? I know we
Uh,
came down with a little bit of a cold.
yeah,
So,
let me tell
how are we
you a
feeling?
story. Let me tell you a story.
Please.
Um, Number 1, guys out there, you gotta have community in
Yeah.
life in general, but especially when it comes to, working out, let me tell you, wow.
Yeah. It is
To
the
have
rub.
somebody in your corner or, like, just as far as just getting setting habits, setting goals, you
Mhm.
gotta have some people around you, and, you gotta give a big shout out to my community because, they came through for me. I am on day 15 today,
Nice. I think that's
and or actually, technically, I think today's 16. Today's 16. So, yes,
yeah.
thank you very much.
There you go. Yep.
The the hardest day was yesterday. Um, it was oh, man. I hit this point, it was 2 weeks, so I had completed 14 days, and I was like, "I don't know, what's the
Yep.
science where you give up?" Because, um, there I don't know who can relate with this, but I would say maybe it's, like, once a week, but I have these days where I wake up and I just know. I'm like, I know, like, today is not gonna be my productive day. Like,
Yep.
I just you're like, your brain's in a
You
haze, and,
you
like,
feel it. You
me
feel it.
yeah, and I'm the procrastinator, so then it's like, I got things to do, but I don't really wanna think about all the things, and so I end up wasting that day away, and I told my
Mhm.
buddy right when I got up, I was like, "I'm worried about today, let me tell you." Um,
That's the
and
time to lean on the team, right? That's
yeah,
the time to lean on
yeah.
the team.
But I didn't actually lean on on my team until later. I basically told the guys, I was like, "Guys, I'm done. Like, I'm
Ooh.
out." I told them, I was like, "You know what? I've been exhausted. I had 2 chances to get 2 of these workouts in, and I didn't take either one of those chances. And now I have to go to work in 2 hours, and I get home, like, 30 minutes before the cutoff,
Yeah.
and so from work. So I'm just not feeling it. Like, I just don't see how this is gonna work. Like, I
Yeah.
haven't
We're not
been
doing
reading
burpees at work. Yeah.
yeah, so and for anybody who's hopping into this episode and hasn't heard about it yet, I'm doing, like, a slightly modified version of the 75 hard because I guess, I don't know, the guy who made the thing or whatever, he's, like,
Mhm.
type A, hoorah, um, like, he just too militaristic for me. I'm like, "Whatever." Like, I don't care, but I thank you for the process. I'll so
Exactly.
we're doing, yeah, so it's 2 workouts a day, 45-minute minimum. One has to be outside. You gotta read 10 pages of a nonfiction book. You gotta drink a gallon of water, and you need to follow a diet and not drink alcohol. So for me, I wasn't gonna focus on the food stuff as much. The thing for me that was going to help, and I knew it was gonna help, and it was gonna require the highest rate of success, but also,
Mhm.
like, be the most helpful is we're tracking our food. So the whole
Yeah.
group is doing that. It's like the diet is track your food.
Yeah.
So I'm tracking it, but I'm not doing the like I have like a beer like once every other week maybe. So
Mhm.
I was like, I don't want anything else messing with the challenge that is already the fact of like trying to drink a gallon a day. Can't
I was gonna ask
that
you about how's
no.
that coming along?
I mean, like, the first week, I was peeing, like, 30 times a day. I'm not even joking. It was, like,
It's so
every
much.
30 minutes. Um, so that was rough. Like, we went on vacation, and I was out there, and I was like, "I gotta pee again. I gotta go find a spot again." Um, but, yeah, so all in all, I'm feeling better,
Good. I was gonna
and
say the
I
2-week timeline, like, that's where the itch to stop is really, really hard for any new workout program, let alone 75 hard, right? That's already 2x what or like 10x what most people would wanna do,
yeah.
getting back on the horse. So the fact that you made it 2 weeks, that's a huge milestone, right? Like, even talking to Jake before, his timeline the first couple times were like 15 days, right? Like, that's where we're at.
Yeah.
So kudos to you. Kudos to keep doing it.
And you know
Um,
what? It's like I think the secret sauce here too is like I'm working with the right group of guys too, because and
yes.
it's funny because I actually don't know any of them except for Jake, but I know I'm on the text thread. I'm like I don't even
Yeah,
know
yeah.
their names. I just know that like that
You
one's
just see numbers.
0069, that guy like 0032 or whatever. Like
Yeah,
you're the end of their phone number.
yeah.
Um, so yeah, but, it was great. So they came through, right? I text them at 2 o'clock, and I'm like, "This is not I'm gonna be on day 1 again tomorrow." So I wasn't giving up, but I was just like, this is rough." And
Yeah.
they they were like, "Hey, totally get it, man." But they were like, "Hey, what if you tried this?" And then somebody else was like, "Oh, you could you could do it this way," like, remember again, it was like, I feel like I was getting a lot of grace from then of
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah. Just
here's how
brainstorming
you
with
here's how you scale this, right? And so like the creator of the 75 hard would be like, "You're wrong, you lose," and I'm like, that's not again, so then I would have failed and then I wouldn't be doing it. So sorry, it's not um perfect. But this group they came through and they were like, one of the guys was like, "Hey, think about it this way. You still have to clean the house. You said you don't have time, but put a timer on every 5 minutes,
mhm.
do 10 squats, and then for
Exactly. The
45
time it
minutes,
takes you to clean
and
up.
you
Perfect.
did like 200 squats. That was your workout."
Mhm.
And I was like, "Dang, that's actually, yeah, that's not that
That's
counts."
doable.
They're
That's
like,
doable.
yeah. So, and I was doing stretches in between. So I did it. And then I was like, dang, I still have
Nice.
another workout to
Okay.
do. But I'm like, I finished that. So then I was like, okay, I can go read the 10 pages. So I'll go read the 10 pages. So I read the book. And then I got lucky. I think the Lord was looking over me and like being like, it's going to be okay. I did.
We're gonna make it.
Yeah, I got scheduled. I was scheduled doing physical stuff at my job, and it was for over 45 minutes of time. And so I was like,
Counted.
this counts. Like
Counted.
I am breaking a sweat doing what
Oh,
I'm
yeah.
supposed to be doing. And so that was all I needed. So I got it done and I
Yeah,
was like,
that's
I
your
can drink
2,
all this
right? That's your
water.
2.
Yep.
Nice.
So
Nice.
here we are, made it. If not for them, like giving me the challenge, like, but it was like the right amount that I needed. So different guys need different
Mhm.
things, right? So I get it.
Yeah.
Some guys need that militaristic push and shove, and that's not I that is the opposite of what I want. So,
And I think that's the
um,
key point, like, asterisk this if you're listening to it or if you're watching it, it's like, yes, accountability is a big thing, but the right type of accountability is a bigger thing, right? Working with the right group, the right coach, trainer, whoever you're working with, like if the way they coach rubs you the wrong way, you're going to stop faster than you probably actually need to stop. Whereas the opposite's true. If you find a group of people or a coach or a trainer that really does motivate you in the ways that you knew you were successful in the past, right? Because I'm sure like this type of chatter, it's not the first time you've felt this kind of support, right? Maybe not in
yeah,
this arena, but in different
yeah,
arenas. And you know,
certainly.
that's what works for you. And
Yep.
so it's so cool that you found a group of numbers that really, I feel like you're like on a game show. Thank you, number 473, for that support
Yes.
today.
Yes,
Right.
yes, yes.
So, yeah, it's the who and the how, not just like getting accountability. Right.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's I'm not gonna say it's easy. It's definitely hard. I'm definitely not gonna be drinking this much water at the end of this thing. Like I'll be drinking more, I think, out of habit, which is good.
Yeah.
But
I
like
think it's just
literally,
building awareness, right? It's
I
building
have to
awareness.
be
Like, oh, I need to do more.
I have to be so mindful of what I am like how much I'm drinking to make it
Yeah.
through. Like I literally have to go like, you gotta be done with your fourth one by 4 o'clock. So
Mhm.
you gotta
You don't wanna
so
be
like
behind the ball
literally
on that. Yeah.
yeah, I'm just chugging here, so I can do that for 75 days, but guess what? Guess who's not drinking a gallon of water a day? This guy after that. So
That's
some habits
that's hilarious.
will die really easily, and hopefully the other ones die hard. So,
But still, Travis will be drinking more water. For me to get that much water in, because I do drink roughly that amount every day, is it's in the early morning. As soon as I wake up, I'm starting like 2 glasses, right? Or 800 milliliters, like first thing in the morning. And then it kind of titrates off in the day. And I don't feel like, oh man, I got a half a gallon before bed. That's not going to work. right? So if you're an early bird, right, if you have a routine that you are getting up early, try to get a bulk of the water in early in the day, and it'll help you feel better the rest of the day. And plus, you're not like downing 4 cups of water at dinner, right?
Yep, because I definitely have been there, did that, and then you gotta get up, like, 8 times throughout the night, and you're like, "Oh, dang
Exactly.
it, here I am again,
Exactly.
and my kids are
Exactly.
sleeping for once. What? What's happening?" So, yeah, it's a good struggle. The struggle's real, but it's good. So today, we're on point for
Awesome, man.
success.
Really, really proud of you. Really, really stoked for you. Like I said,
Yeah,
the first few
thanks.
weeks are the hard one. Next thing you know, we're going to be talking about, you know, the first 2 months that you got down. So,
Yep, yep. So I just what's really holding me to this thing is if I had to start over at this point, I mean, there's really no going back because I
mm,
gotta finish this thing before Thanksgiving. Guys,
there you
come on now.
go. There
We're
you
not gonna
go.
we can't be doing we can't be doing this on Thanksgiving Day.
Man, I remember back in the day, we used to do those Thanksgiving challenges that would lead up to it. And it
Yeah,
was like the most popular challenge because everyone knows when I go home for the holidays, we're throwing down. Like no holds
yeah,
barred, sweatpants without the drawstrings, like we're going to town.
yep,
So, not to say that's a
and
good thing, but yeah,
yeah,
doing
yeah, yeah,
25
yeah.
hard before that is a motivating factor, right? It's like signing up for your first 10K. That's what's gonna get you to do your daily walks. So,
For sure, and I still remember it, when I was doing the paleo thing, I lost 20
mhm.
pounds first time I met you, right before Thanksgiving, and I was
Yep.
like, having to, like, complain at work because 'cause we'd have, like, a party, and they were like,
Yeah,
"Look, it's
yeah, yeah.
Thanksgiving party," and I was like, "I'm just eating pieces of turkey, why?" But it was worth it. It was
Oh,
worth
the good old days. Yeah,
the good old days. Yeah.
exactly.
So, yeah, what's, anything new on your end? I mean, that
No,
can't be all about me.
yeah, yeah, catching up. We are kind of finding our footing with the new school rhythm. We went from like half day kindergarten to full day now, so she's getting used to being tired because the attention span's a little bit longer. Drop off lines are a little bit longer, so the first couple weeks were tough for us in the household just because of the energy zap of getting back into the routine. So I personally feel like we're starting to feel like our old selves as far as just like, hey, everyone knows what time homework is, what time quiet time, dinner. There's still some loose ends that we need to tie up. Like the kids are still like going up a little later, like it's summer and it's hitting them in the morning where they're like, what time is it? I was like, we should have left for school 10 minutes ago.
Yeah.
Like it's like one of those things. So that's still kind of tidying it up, but for the most part, it's been good. My training's been really good. I'm getting a lot more volume now that's safer compared to what I used to do. But at the same time, like today was a day off, right? I might go for a walk or a swim, but there's no lifting. I'm not going to like any group fitness classes or training today because I know where the load's going. I know the next 2 weeks because I'm kind of helping out a little bit more over the next week coaching. And so I'm like teaching 5 days a week and I'm working out, 5 days a week. And there's some type of walk or swim. So for me, I know with that much volume and the stressors of just home stress, school stress, I have a tendency, my immune system has a tendency to be a little low. So to preemptively, I'm not a big napper, right? And so to preemptively kind of fight that, that means I need to kind of downshift and do 25% less of my physical activity. So for me, like I love, the walk in the morning and either a group class or a gym session and then a swim or a walk in the afternoon. But that's just me. That's what fits my schedule. And I like being quote unquote that active, but it comes at a cost when I'm overly stressed, right? Because that's also stress on the body. So just leaning into recovery and rest, a little bit more cold dips this week. Definitely going to do a little bit more meditation. The mornings, the quiet mornings, I was talking to Mo, have been great because on the days that I don't need to get up super early, I still get up and it's me time. So that's where I'm reading a little bit more, right? I can do meditation or just sitting outside and finishing a hot cup of coffee while it's
Yeah.
still hot, right?
Yeah.
Like
What a concept.
yeah, exactly. So
Right.
really leaning into the stretch reflex. Like we know how to stretch into stress, but to let that rubber band go back to neutral and to recover, that's kind of where I'm at. And it's a good feeling. Haven't had that in a while, especially with all the plates of school starting. So it's been good. I realize I need to study again because of all the homework that's coming back. So that's kind of been awkward. right? Learning middle school science over again and history, which is fun because it's another connection point with my middle schooler, which is really cool. But besides that, yeah, just full steam ahead with this podcast. A lot more coming out with this, which I'm really, really excited about. Um, got
Heck
some
yeah.
mentorship online around this space, so I've been kind of diving in. Like you know this, Travis, and a couple podcasts before. One of my main what fills me up is learning, and so the fact that I get to learn about content creation and posting, and I'll do some behind the scenes for Patreon and my socials for that. But for me, it's like being a little kid again, like learning a new sport. So that's what's happening in the household around here. Besides the 97-degree weather over the last week or so, a lot of pool dates. But no, good, man. We're good. We're rolling on all cylinders right now, and kids are doing well. We're getting into sports now with like soccer shots is starting up, right? Gymnastics starting up.
Oh, you have
Uh,
soccer shots down there?
oh yeah, for sure. It's a big thing. Our first grader is going to be doing that, and our elementary school just did tryouts for volleyball and got into volleyball.
Yeah.
So she'll be rocking volleyball. So, both the parent backgrounds, our backgrounds are in sports, but it was never pushed on our kids. It was just like, hey, do you want to do musical theater? Awesome. If you want to do some racquetball, awesome. Just try a bunch as much as you can, and whatever you kind of want to do for the season, we'll pick you up, drop you off, cut oranges, whatever you want. But just know that it's your choice. We're not going to be like, you need to do this now because we signed up for it. But
Yeah.
if we sign up for it, we're going to play it out. At the end of the season, we'll ask, is this something you want to do again? If you're like, no, then we tried it. We finished what we signed up for.
There
And
you
that gives us
go.
a good experience of, hey, do I want to take this to the next level? Or, you know what, Dad, I'm good just going to the park. So that's kind
Yeah.
of the areas that we're playing around with right now.
Yeah, well, and talk about showing, just showing off like what, 10 more years, does in experience, for you there is that's something that I am figuring out when it's too late, but that's okay. We're still figuring it out,
Yeah, yeah,
right? But you
exactly.
you talked about the like, hey, gotta shift down, like
Hmm.
gotta this is in this season, this is where the stress points come in, and therefore I can't do this, or I shouldn't,
Hmm.
because I know that'll burn me out. Woof.
Exactly.
Like, you just like but you're applying what you learned, which is something
Hmm.
that I used to not do either. It was just like, go with let the wind carry you wherever it goes, and
Exactly.
that doesn't bring you where you want to go. So
Hmm.
yes, so that's cool because that's also what we're learning right now is it's just a lot of adapting. So I
Yeah.
realized like I was
Hey, what
getting
does
up and I was
Travis
like,
say? Right?
I'm gonna
Lose
be
to
like
gain.
Rob. I'm waking up at 4:30. Yeah. And that worked for 10 days, and then I
Yeah.
got started getting sick, and Deb was like, "You shouldn't be getting up that early all the time because you're working until 10:30, and you can't change that. And so
Yes.
you gotta, like, you can't be doing that every day." I'm like, "That's a fair point." So,
Yeah.
okay.
And
So
on that
now
point, it's like I had some people ask me about that. It's like, don't be like Rob. Like the 4:30 works for my schedule and it's something I've been doing for years, right? But if you're in a new season, a new dad, and you have like a newborn, but Rob gets up at 4:30, oh no, 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 sir. You should be sleeping as much as you can because we already know you're not sleeping through the night, right? So what works for me may not work for you, but the takeaway from that is to carve out time in the day for yourself. So maybe that's the 10 pages of a book. Maybe that's going for a walk after dinner. It doesn't need to be early morning. I have just found that it works best for me in my season, right? Did I do this when like my oldest was a newborn? Oh no, I was up at that hour, but not because I got up at that hour, right? It was just because the babies were just constantly up. So like you said, Travis, like, hey, it might sound like a good idea, but if there's certain things in your day to day that's out of your control, so to speak, right? Work schedule, one of those things, right? Making sure you make food for your kids, that's another thing, right? And so you need to work around those times. So if you got a little bit later of a schedule and sleep is a priority, right? For your immune system, for all the benefits of 75 hard, like you're not going to get any of those benefits if you're not sleeping, right? So it's
yeah.
counterproductive. So I'm proud of you. Thank you for the shout out, Deb. Be like, hey, maybe this is not the best idea if you're getting sick after 10 days, right? That's not a good thing.
Go ahead, bud. just had a potty break that had to
I
come out
got you.
there.
Hey, it happens.
But that to add to that too, right? This is the
Mhm,
thing is you say and you're a strong proponent of this.
mhm,
When we as we've been talking over the years of like, hey, make sure that you schedule that space in for yourself.
mhm.
And some people can hear that, I think, and they can go, like, well, no, I got a family to take care of. I got a job to do. Like, I can't go like treat yourself every day. Like,
Yeah,
that's not gonna happen. But the reality is, and I think what the root of that is for I would love to know the real statistic on this, but
mhm.
isn't a scientific way to exactly say. But the reality is, the chances are if that time is there. You're
Yes,
right, and that's for me,
yeah,
that's what's been good about the 75 hard is I have to go from working out, like, once a month to, working out, like, twice a day, and for an hour and a half, like, so to find an hour and a half in the day, what? Well, that has required what it does, though, is it's getting rid of all the extra fluff that
yeah, you're
is not helping.
prioritizing
So,
your
like,
time
oh,
now.
yeah, yeah. Well,
Yeah,
guess what? I'm definitely on my phone for 45 minutes during nap time or
yes.
during the morning after breakfast. Like, so it was easy to cut it out. Now, some people out there, you're hustling and you're going task to task. Way to go. Props to you. But for most of us, you're probably like me and to prioritize that, it's actually going to help you out because it's going to get rid of the stuff that you actually don't want anyways.
It'll naturally cut out the fluff, right? It'll
And,
naturally cut
you pardon me, I gotta go, wipe a butt. So, I'll be right back. So,
off.
yeah, that I just wanted to make that note. But, yeah, so look at you, just thriving over there, shifting gears when you're supposed to. This is how it goes. That like a new
Mhm,
race car driver doesn't know when to brake and when to shift at the right time, but eventually you get the flow and you know what to do. And that next lap, you know how to take it on, and then you go from there.
yeah.
But,
So
real life isn't like NASCAR, there isn't a left turn at every corner,
no,
but you'll know how to operate that vehicle of life, and you'll be able to adapt.
there you go. The more you drive, the more you know. And this is where we need that reading rainbow thing.
Yeah, yeah. Wait, what's the yeah, the more you
It's just
scroll
I think it's
what's
just
the
the more
phrase?
you
The
know.
more you what?
I think it's just the more you know, like, that's all it is. Like, they say a comment, and then that star comes across the screen, the more you know.
Oh, yeah, 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 like the actual reading rainbow thing.
The
See,
actual read.
yeah. Oh, man, yeah, I was thinking about there's another, like, commercial out there that somebody used.
Ah,
The
that was
more
the
you
'80s,
know,
so
the
don't
more
worry
you
about
something.
it. Yeah.
Anyways, yeah, anyways, I digress. That's my shirt. That's the shirt I need. Anyways, I digress.
Anyways, maybe that'll be one of our
Mm.
merch
And
that
for all the
shirt by
talkers out
podcast.
there,
Yeah,
for all
anyway,
the
right.
people out there, you guys can get that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah. So, all right. Well, I got a little bit more salad in my bowl,
there
and
you
the
go.
kids are waking up in a few minutes. And
Awesome.
so,
I'm about to take off for pickup lines, so
yes. Thanks for chatting it up, and thanks for
always.
hearing me out. I know there was a lot of chatty Travis over here.
No, it's
Um,
great catching up. I wanted to hear about the 75 hard. I think everyone who's followed you since the start of it will want to as well. So kudos to that. Keep it up. We'll check in. You know what? That'll be like a staple check-in every episode, every week. How's it
yeah.
going? Where are we at? What day are we on? How we feeling? Right?
Yeah. Yep. We'll see how we're
Awesome.
chugging along. Well, as per the usual, everybody remember we are not professionals.
We're not gurus. We're just
Just two
two
dads
dads
in real
in
life.
life.